Take a load off, grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up your feet. That's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah. It's podcast time.
Fine by me.
That was pretty good.
Cook.
That's pretty good. I give that a 6.7 out of 10.
I tried my best.
It's hard to cover for Nick these days.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little quieter. Maybe we'd have a conversation this week.
Who we got with us this week, Josh?
We got I'm not going to say a guest. I'm going to say a co-host. I'm going to say
Nice.
honorary co-host, Travis Utley. Welcome, Travis.
Yeah, appreciate it. Glad to be here. Tommy Knocker in the building, I guess.
Yeah, man. Tell us a little about yourself. You've been a fan of the show since day one.
That's right. So I'm a friend of Nick's, just like you guys, but I've always been a big believer of supporting my friends when they do stuff. So I've listened to every episode. I even got in early on the Smith and Smith Hospital one before it got all bleeped out and redacted and whatnot. So
yeah, man, got that saved. That's in the archives.
Yeah, I'm an old school Chappelle Show intro listener. You know,
Nice.
So I've been doing this for a long time.
Hell yeah.
We are glad to have you.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, man.
I hope it lived up to the hype of everybody from last episode. Y'all telling me we're having a special guest.
Yeah, man, well,
They
we're pretty good at disappointing people, so if they're not, then it'll be okay.
They probably tuned in thinking y'all had a celebrity or something, and it's just me. It's just me.
You got a nice little UK room. I see you're a UK fan. Oh, you're wearing your little lapel pin tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
I
pen.
didn't get that real well.
Those
Nick
are
made me that in
new.
his living room.
Those are hot off the press. Those aren't out to the general public just yet.
Yeah, I think that might be the only one, right?
Yeah, that's
I think there may be one other one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in my
I'll say
office
that
where I work from every day, so
That's nice.
you can see all my knickknacks and whatnot behind me.
What kind of awards do we have back there? What is that? Are those
So-
trophies?
Yeah, I used to race ATVs back when I was in my college years, and these are my national trophies. One's for 4th place in nationals and 6th place. Now that's overall, not just a race, but
yeah.
they mean a
nice.
lot to me. Spent a
That's
lot of
cool,
money.
man. That's cool.
Big
What'd you say?
Derek Junior rookie car. I know you like that, Josh.
Yeah, man. He said he raced ATVs back in the day.
ATVs,
Like quads, 4-wheelers.
Did you do?
When I was half my age and half my size.
Was that JPMX?
No, it was actually it was flat track stuff. I know the guy who owns JPMX, or I did back in the day, but they
I was
do
gonna say,
mostly motocross.
I did too way back, 20 years ago or so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's from 2004 and 2005. So
yeah. That was
Have you had any real crazy like injuries or wrecks or anything?
I broke my collarbone at Paducah International Race Valley.
That's
It's
a pretty
half-mile-
classic injury, isn't it?
Yeah,
for that
it's a
habit?
half-mile dirt track. I was running about 85 and
Ooh.
spun out, and my 4-wheeler body slammed me. I got up, got back on it. I thought I was good to go, and I fired it up, turned left, and felt the pain surge down my body, and it was over. I couldn't go nowhere.
Clavicle.
So, it sticks up real bad. I don't know if this is going to do it justice.
Yeah, we can see it. Ooh, gross. Ooh.
Now, Josh, show them your nub. Show them your nub.
No,
Yeah.
man, that's on me. That's for the Patreon one day. I just ain't giving them out. Those ain't free.
You got to do that on OnlyFans.
85 on an ATV though. That's a
nuts.
crazy number on an ATV.
Yeah.
We did a half mile. It was in loose gravel, okay, and they had
Sounds even worse.
Yes, it's super bad. It was made for like flat track motorcycles, and they had a clock for speed at the start finish line. And me and my buddy were racing my 4-wheeler all night long. 94 coming past the start finish line every time.
Golly.
What kind of bike were you on? Like Suzuki, Yamaha?
I had a Yamaha Raptor 660 that I put way, 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 way too much money in. Like probably 10 to 11 grand in early 2000s. So
you're a little bit older than us. Do you remember the Suzuki Quadzilla?
Yes.
The big 500, like
500cc two-stroke.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Those things are killing people.
I'll say that Raptor was what I always wanted when I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
never did race in JPMX, so I don't want to make that statement or whatever, but I was around it a lot. I had friends that did the mostly dirt bikes and like one of them did quads in JPMX or whatever. So I was there at races quite a bit, and I knew a lot of people around it, but I was too poor to have anything like
I
that.
didn't I didn't have the balls to do the big jumps and stuff, so I stuck to the flat track and going really, really fast and sliding sideways in
Which I
corners and
think is
whatnot.
crazier than the jumps.
Yeah,
You know?
I never watched any flat track stuff. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I said, I
Yeah.
wasn't really in it myself. I was just going to like watch my friends and like I would help
It's
them in their
it's
pits.
almost like a sprint car without the roll cage, which
Damn,
I don't
dude.
know if that's crazier or not.
It
I
is
think that's
crazy.
crazier. Yeah, I think that's definitely
I'd
crazier.
be doing that Superman. I do the jumps. That's what I be wanting to do.
I rode dirt
Okay.
bikes and stuff when I was a kid. Probably more, yeah, more dirt bikes doing the crazy jumps and stuff, but I never got into like actually racing anybody. I definitely have sprained some stuff. I don't think I've ever broke anything riding a motorcycle or a dirt bike though.
I've
Yeah,
never
I got
broken a bone, knock on wood. I've had them cutting off and never broke one.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah, through all my sports and everything, I've never had a broken bone, a fracture, nothing.
I've broke my
Just my
nose.
collarbone's the only thing I've had broken. So
I've
Mm.
broke my nose twice. I've
Well, yeah, my
got
nose. I don't really count that though, I
uh,
guess.
nose twice. One was like one was a fight and one was I fell off a jungle gym whenever I was like in second grade, and then I broke my pinky like two or three times playing baseball. Like, and it was all
Mm.
from sliding. Like,
Oh yeah.
it
you
They
was
didn't
wear
all
have
these
that new
oven
oven mitt.
mitts. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, they wear this oven mitt thing now whenever they're playing.
Oh,
And they
really?
slide in the bases. Yeah, it's a big rounded off mitten. Looks just like an oven mitt.
Old now. I ain't. I'm old.
Mm.
Dog. We didn't have that back then.
No, this hadn't been new. Probably the past 3 or 4 years, probably.
Yeah, yeah. No,
No, it's a big deal.
but it was never a big deal. Like it was always just like a wrap it up. The first time I broke it, I was like in farm league, so I was really, really
Mm.
young, and they actually put a full cast on it. But the rest of the time, I was on a team that actually, I guess, depended on me, and they're like, "Oh no, we can just wrap that up. It'll be all right."
Yeah. You got to play.
Yeah, we gotta get you out there and play. We got to get you swinging. Here's some hydros.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Get back out there. So reminds me of that movie Varsity Blues. Whenever what's his name, the quarterback Lance is on that table and they're about to
Yeah.
get in that shot, and Billy Bob's like, "That needle gets anywhere near his knee, I'm gonna rip your arms off and beat you to death with them."
Yeah, yeah.
What a classic movie they could not make today. There's
No,
no way they
man.
make that movie today.
Dude, Varsity
Yeah.
Blues is one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know. I've told everybody this ever, but whenever I was in college, I lived with two other dudes, and we were like kind of the party apartment that everybody came to. We didn't have cable or anything. We had an Xbox maybe, and there was two DVDs. One of them and none of wait, yeah, neither of them any of us brought up there. So somebody at some point left a Varsity Blues DVD, and then somebody at some point left a Mean Girls DVD.
Hell yeah.
So if you were at our apartment, one of those two movies was on every time.
Very good movies, both of them in their own right.
So I know both of those movies like the back of my hand pretty much. I've seen them been fucking hammered on my couch at my apartment.
Mm.
Just like,
I don't
why am
think
I
Mean Girls.
watching Mean Girls for the 30th time this week?
I don't think I've watched Mean Girls since like 2014.
I
Which
Yeah,
give me
haven't,
a minute.
I haven't seen it
that's
in a long
close.
time.
I think they just remade it, didn't they?
It's like a musical now, I think, or a show.
Oh,
I'm
that
not
sounds better.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch the new one. There's no way. I've got too much of a connection with that old one. Too many good times.
Mm,
That
that's so sketch.
Regina George just did
It
stuff
was
for you
so
back in the
fetch,
day.
Josh.
Fetch. That's right.
Fetch.
Fetch.
Stop
My
trying to
bad.
make fetch happen.
That's right. Well, her name's Gretchen, I think.
Yeah, Gretchen Wieners.
Yeah, you sound like you know it pretty good.
Wow.
I'm telling you, dude, I know all about it.
You're just listening to it subconsciously, just laying there dozing. It's just playing over and over and over.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
That might be somebody's version of hell. You know that?
I haven't
It
seen it.
sounds like mine, to be honest with you.
Man.
I haven't seen it in probably 10 years now, but yeah, I feel like if I saw it tonight, I would be able to quote the whole thing. Varsity
Yeah.
Blues for sure, because I still every now and then will turn on Varsity Blues and
Oh,
watch it.
we watched it once every 3 or 4 months.
I was gonna
Your
say,
daddy was a no talent pussy, but at least he listened.
fire that fucking pig skin.
Oh man, knock it off, Dad. This ain't funny.
See, I didn't live where y'all live, but I think every little small town thinks they're the varsity blues town.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I feel like
100%.
everybody in Franklin's like, this is where varsity blues took place.
This is
We're just
West
like that
Canaan.
place.
Yeah,
West
Yeah.
Canaan Coyotes.
West Canaan Coyotes, yeah, and every fat guy on a high school football team thinks they're Billy Bob.
That's right. Got to be the number 69 too.
Yeah, number 69,
And-
Billy Bob.
And then the boy that played him did the most awesome thing and got in another teen movie and played a parody of himself, which I
I
always
forgot
thought was
he did
great.
that. Yeah, he did.
His name was something different in it too. It was like 2 names, but it was something
Right.
different than Billy Bob. I can't remember what it was.
But he was still the number 69 in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do. I mean, if you remember the truck that he had in that movie, that truck was fucking
I think it was
Oh,
sweet.
yeah, that big
That
Chevy.
was
a
sweet.
nice truck. I would drive that today.
He had that pig named Bacon.
Yeah. I think your dog's a pig. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the size of that sausage. Anyway,
Like I said, you could not make that movie today.
no,
Not at
man.
all.
You couldn't make a lot of those
Well,
movies like Ace
that-
Ventura.
Whatever he picks,
American Pie.
whatever he picks Lance up, he's dipping an Eggo into.
He's drinking syrup.
He's dipping the Eggo into peanut butter and then
Yeah,
he's
dude.
drinking syrup.
He's getting all of his protein, sugar, carbs, everything right there in one shot.
If I did that, I would have a heart attack.
He goes, "Hey, Mox, get your skinny
Well,
ass over here," or something. He hollers
That'd
at
be
him.
like eating the honey bun wrapped in bacon that I shared with y'all a couple days
Oh
ago.
golly, man!
Man, I mean, if you want to cook that for us, I wouldn't tell you no.
I'd try it, man.
I was gonna be honest with you. If we were gonna meet in person today, I was going to smoke them on my smoker and bring them with me.
Well,
just
we're
to have
definitely
y'all
going to be
try.
having you back. We're going to be
Yeah,
having
we'll have you
on the
back
show.
for that.
Because one of my favorite pastimes is cooking out there on my smoker. I love
What's
it.
some of your
It's-
favorite things that you smoked like recently?
So I do a lot of pulled pork. It's really
Mhm.
easy to feed a lot of people.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, my wife's best friend had a baby shower, and I did the barbecue with them. I'll be honest with you, her husband, the girl that we did the baby shower for, she's white, he's black, so it was a mixed race baby shower.
Oh man, you had a tough
Yeah.
crowd.
No, I was super excited. These black guys were like, "Man, this barbecue's awesome. Where'd you get
That's
it?"
good.
I
That's
was
what,
like,
that's what I mean.
I was
Yes.
like, "That's the best compliment I could get."
Yeah,
Love
for
the
sure.
show. So,
That's like with comedy. They say if you can go to like any kind of black room and be funny, you can be funny anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Like as a white
I did
dude,
that.
I've heard a lot of that. Like Sam Tripoli talks about it going to somewhere in like Detroit. And he was like, it was like whenever he was really early on in comedy. Obviously, he's not big like Bert or anybody like
Bob
that.
Saget was big. That's where he started out too. Was
Yeah.
in black rooms.
And he was like, man, I knew that I had something whenever I had this room of black
you
people
got it.
Yeah,
that I
man.
was making laugh because you don't. It's a different connection. It's like I have nothing against black comedians, obviously, but a lot of things that they talk about, like I don't connect with because
Right.
I haven't
It's
lived
different
that.
culture.
Yeah, I haven't lived that
Yeah.
life, so I don't. It
Mhm.
doesn't. I just don't. It doesn't connect with me or whatever. So, but for him, even like for a black guy to go into a white room, I'm sure it's the same like thing. To
Mhm.
be able to connect and still be funny or whatever. So
Right.
That
but yeah,
the
I
guy that
get
played
what you're
Kramer,
saying.
he did real
Cookout
well,
thing.
right?
Did they invite you to any other cookouts or what?
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, actually, they called me last week and was like, or for Saturday, what are you doing Saturday? Could you make me some pulled pork? But I was taking my
Man.
kids and my wife to camp with Nick, so I wasn't able to. But yeah, they called me back. I do briskets quite a bit. I really like doing that. That's probably the hardest thing to cook because
Yeah, see, I've never cooked a brisket.
it's really expensive and it's
Right.
a fine line. It'll either be good or it will be terrible.
Like rubbery.
I don't
Yeah.
have the heart to tell somebody it's terrible when it's terrible. Like this past weekend, I had like a joint little cookout birthday party for me and the other guy that had a birthday. He loves smoking stuff too, so he made a brisket and pulled pork and stuff. And like it's one of the rare times like when I go to his house and he makes brisket that it's really fucking good. So I don't have to lie about his, but like if I go to a lot of cookouts and they make brisket, I'm like, this is fucking trash. Like I do
Uh,
not want to eat this.
so I've only made like 4 or 5 of them because I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of scared of them. And
Yeah. Like you said, it's
my father,
expensive too.
That's why I've
yeah,
never done one.
It's just it's
They
expensive
cost too
to
much
learn
if you
on.
mess them up.
and my
Yeah.
father-in-law loves them. So
Do a
the first one I
tri-tip.
made, the first brisket I made was phenomenal. Like the whole family was over here eating it. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. The second one I made was terrible, and they were over here eating it, and they're all like, no, it's good. I'm like, in my heart, I know this is not good.
Yeah, you knew
Y'all
they were
are
just
over
being
here telling me how
nice.
good it is. I know it is. The last one I
Yeah.
made was really, really good. But
I think it's the
um,
worst when you put all that time into something and it doesn't
oh,
turn out the
oh
way
yeah,
that you want it to.
yeah.
Man, it's so aggravating.
Especially when you got 12 people at your house waiting for it, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's all on you.
Yeah.
I do the meat, and my wife makes all the sides. That's what
Sides,
we
yeah,
do.
desserts.
Yep, for
That's
I've
sure.
a
been
tag
wanting a
team
good banana
situation.
pudding. I've been craving some good banana pudding. I ain't had that in a while.
She makes a great banana pudding. She takes trifolds from the Girl Scouts and puts those in
Yeah,
there instead of vanilla wafers.
man, I
I'm
bet
not
that's a
big on
game
ban-
changer.
yeah, I'm not big on banana pudding, but that is amazing.
That
She
sounds
does
good.
great.
Shortbread cookies, it's got to be good.
That's why I'm 300 pounds now, is because my wife knows how to cook.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Bro, you just
Ain't
gotta
nothing
get on
wrong with that.
Ozempic, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, was
yeah.
it
I
semaglutides?
yeah. That way my
Why
face
are
can
you saying
shrink
big
in,
words
and
right now? Is that
there's
what Ozempic
there's
is?
nothing healthy about that stuff. There can't be.
Is that what they are? Semaglutides? Wait,
Yeah,
Yeah,
semaglutides. Yeah,
they're
that's what they're
actually
called.
made for diabetics.
Diabetes. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
people are
so
just taking them to.
they regulate your sugar and your appetite. So that's why people take them. Like people who don't have diabetes, they take it and it just they're full after like 3 or 4 bites. Like they like
Yeah.
all their sugar spikes because they're healthy. So
Yeah.
they just aren't hungry anymore. But they, you know what
Yeah,
I
in
mean?
5 years, there's going to be some kind of huge lawsuit against all those companies
Well,
Oh,
I
there'll
mean,
be
it's
for
fine,
somebody
sure.
with some kind of
but if it's
crazy
okay,
diseases.
but if it's okay for diabetics, why would it not be? Like, what? Why would
Well,
it be an
it
issue?
is
You're missing.
okay, I guess. Like the people are just fussing because there's like this huge like shortage now
Well,
because
I was gonna say
people.
that does suck that there's a shortage for
Yeah.
diabetics or whatever.
But
Like,
this is a free
they
market
should be
system,
like
isn't
first
it?
in line to get it. Like if they ever, if that ever became a thing.
That would go against everything that the United States of America is, though. You know what I
Oh, that's
mean?
true.
Well,
It is true with capitalism and whatnot. Okay, yeah. I mean,
I've heard some bad.
I
I've
get
heard some
that.
bad stuff about them. So,
In a
but
perfect world, diabetics should get it first. But I understand we don't live in that world. So,
Right. You know, I gotta always be the one to bring it down a notch.
do you see this
I've
fucking?
heard bad stuff about those Olympics and those things like causing
I'm sure.
internal wounds and all kinds of different things. I don't think it's safe, but
No,
if
probably
that's
not.
what
That is
you,
pretty
if
new.
that,
I
yeah,
took
if that's what you want to do you?
I
Yeah.
did
Just do crack.
I had like an overactive thyroid last summer, and
You get your ears pierced.
what? No,
You get your
they've always been
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I just seen it. Not to interrupt you. I said, Dad, go. I said, Wes
dude.
flexing on us.
So I was thinking so I've had them pierced for 20 years probably now.
Mm.
They've never grown out, and I
Yeah,
was
you get them done at Claire's?
no, I had it done drunk at my apartment that I talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But
Hey, I
the
was
other
with
day I
Nick
was
when
on
he got his ears
Amazon and
pierced.
I was like, maybe I'll like stretch my ears out again. We'll
There you
see.
go. Yeah, man.
But either way, last summer I had like some kind of thyroid issue. My doctor said I didn't feel anything, but he was like, your tests say yada yada yada. And I took Wegovy for 3 months. I mean, I lost like 20 pounds or whatever, and
Ain't
I
that
didn't
something when you go to the doctor and you feel fine, they tell you that you have something wrong with you? You're like, hey, man, take a break.
It's
I
almost
did it
like
for
it's a
3 months
business.
and like it was, I mean, I lost 20 pounds or so last summer and like it was fine. I didn't really have any downsides from it or whatever, but I was like, do I have to keep taking this? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay. So I didn't. He was like, well, he tested me again like 3 months later, and he was like, "All right, you're good now." And I was like, "Okay, this guy may have done this for a war, like some kind of quota situation."
Maybe he was just doing some like some like real life testing on you. Like you were the trial. He's like, let's see what this does. It's not going to hurt him too bad. We're going to monitor him real well. Make sure we're
Yeah,
just going to do it for
I'm
3 months.
monitor this guy that doesn't call us ever. He just
Yeah.
once a year.
It's a full-time job, dude. I go to so many doctors, and it's just exhausting sometimes. Like, just keep it up with some of those things. So,
can
dude,
imagine.
if I didn't absolutely have to go, I would never go. But that's what got me in the situation got into 5 years ago. I just didn't go to the doctor. They was like, well, we got to cut some stuff off. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna go to the doctor from now on.
When's the
I'm
last
gonna
time
make an
you had something
appointment
up your ass?
tomorrow.
Do what?
So when's
Which
the last
one?
time you had something up your ass?
About a month ago,
Shut up.
probably. In like a medical setting.
I think you meant medical setting.
Oh, there's an option for not a medical setting.
Think so. Second, I put a suppository in my ass last night before I went to bed.
oh. So, well, I mean, suppository would still be considered medical. I feel like.
Well, yeah, well, that's the only that's it. Yeah. So last night, less than 24 hours.
Nice.
It's like,
Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. I'm not going to name names, but I was talking to somebody. I think Friday or Saturday. Why is my phone? My phone is literally like transcribing what I'm saying. But either way, I was talking to somebody like last Friday or Saturday, and they said they had a friend that lives in Nashville. I guess we have medical here now, maybe medical marijuana. And the doctors prescribed him marijuana, but it's in suppository form.
yeah, man, I gotta get me some of them.
Like, why would you choose to do it that way?
Because
I
people with
understand. I do understand. It's the same reason as like butt chugging and stuff like that. Like it gets to you a lot quicker. But like, why do you need it to get to you that quick?
because a lot of people like edibles don't affect me at all hardly. Like I don't like metabolize them because of my IBD. So the suppository, you can't throw it up. It absorbs within 15 minutes. It's right off the bat, and it doesn't have to go through all your digestive like metabolize and all that. So it's probably like a last option kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they probably tried other things and it didn't work. So they're
It
like,
does
well, we'll
not
just
sound like it with this fella, but I'll concede and say maybe that's the case. But it does, in
yeah.
my opinion, from what I understand, this was the first option that they.
Oh well,
Maybe it's what he asked for. He was like,
maybe.
"Hey, that's where I want it."
Yeah, that's where I want to do it. I don't want to chew nothing up. I don't want to swallow nothing. I just want to go in there and I just want to just
Pick it up
swallow
my
that.
ass and
Yeah,
get fucking high as hell for the
I'm gonna
night.
put it in my prison wallet.
I was watching something earlier, by the way. I don't even remember what it was, and they were asking. Oh, it was Theo's podcast where he's interviewing the cop, the
Yeah.
like ex-police officer, and he's like, "What's the craziest thing somebody had in their ass?" And he says, "He said a racquetball."
Holy shit, dude, that's crazy. That's like a little bit smaller than a baseball.
Well, why a racquetball?
I don't know, man. Why do people do a lot of things? You know?
I I don't know. I would. That's who we need. We need somebody to come on that's like an ER nurse or something, so that they can like really like give us
I,
some DL on
I
what's.
think
I'll blur their face and everything if I have to.
I
I'll
think
go.
Nick knows somebody.
So my sister's a nurse, but she don't
Well,
do
no,
ER.
Nick. I know who you're probably speaking on that Nick knows, and
I don't think. Yeah,
she's more of a she's more of an ambulance situation.
Trauma kind of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
yeah. That wouldn't I wouldn't want her to share anything, but
Yeah,
I
she's probably
would.
seen some pretty bad stuff.
Oh, I'm sure she's seen some real tragic stuff.
Oh, you know she sees it. If it's a helicopter involved, it ain't no
Yeah.
good.
If there's life flight involved, yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
fucking wild. Yeah. I know that. I mean, I know that from being in the insurance business and being in injury. Like, that's one of the reasons I don't do injury claims anymore because it was just
My
traumatizing.
my wife is also a nurse, and I'm sure she's seen a lot of stuff. But the problem is they won't talk about it outside of work
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
So they're not going to come in here and
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, that would be something like if somebody wanted to come on and be anonymous, like, I could make that happen. It'd be an
Yeah,
easy
for
thing to
sure.
make happen if they wanted to
I'm
get
gonna
it.
have to use the restroom real quick. Y'all hang tight.
No, you're good, man.
Carry on.
You're good. You're good. Utley, what else you seen anything crazy going on in the news here in the last little bit?
No, not really. I was watching the Trump and Dr. Phil interview right before this. I think didn't get through all of it, but I've actually tried to stay out of the news. I made a conscious decision like probably 2 years ago. I used to wake up every morning and have a cup of coffee or an energy drink and watch the news.
Yeah.
And I felt myself just being angry all the time. And with everything that was going on, and I made a conscious decision. I don't even really watch it very often. Sometimes you'll get headlines that pop up on your computer or you're on social media and see people talking about stuff, but I try to stay out of it because it just affects me. And I
Yeah,
don't want to
sure.
carry that all day.
I'm also pretty bad about it. So I don't watch news. I don't watch any of like the news channels. But um, saying that, like Dr. Phil has his own network now. Like
Yeah.
the Dr. Phil Trump thing. I actually also just watched. Trump was on Jake Paul. Impulsible, I think, is what his podcast is.
Yes. Yeah.
Truthfully, I'll be honest. It was the same interview. Well, there wasn't really any difference between the two. But as far as you're to touch on like you getting like upset like about the news, like or like making you angry or whatever, I do that to myself, like scrolling Twitter like nights
Yeah.
before I'm going to bed. Like I've probably said that before, but I there's something about like I want to know what's going on, but then whenever I find out what's going on, I'm like, God damn it.
Well, and of course you made your algorithm point that stuff to you too, so you just get bombarded with
Yeah.
all that all the
Yeah, yeah.
time, right?
And I've done a good job, and I realize how algorithms work, so I try to like things that I don't like,
Yeah.
just so that I can have like both sides. Like that way, I'm not
Yeah.
like
I
this
got you.
echo chamber situation happening. But so I see things from both sides that I don't like, obviously, which I think any sane person would not like something. Like you're never going to like one candidate as bad, whatever. You're not going to like one thing
Yeah.
that everybody stands for or whatever. But yeah, I've gotten away from that. I'm still on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, but I try not to do
It's
that.
Twitter. Nobody
Dead
calls it.
naming. We're dead naming it.
Dead name. Yeah, I try
Well,
not to do that
he
anymore.
put a poll up trying to ask people if he needed to change the name back a couple last week or something like that. Elon did.
Do you remember?
Nobody
I
calls it
remember
that.
seeing that. Did anything come of that? What do you know the results?
I don't. I didn't look it up. I just seen where he was.
I'll try.
I know he posted he was going to make a poll, but I don't know if he ever actually put the poll up. You'd
Okay.
have to look that up.
I'll try to find that.
But if you were watching the Dr. Phil thing, the whole time all I could stare was at his iPad laptop he had sitting there.
On the
It looked
edge
like
of the
it was gonna
table.
fall. It looked like it was going to fall off the table at any moment.
Yeah.
What kind of psychopath puts
I think it
your
was on like
iPad
some kind of
that?
like weird little stand or something. We just couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the center of gravity for that laptop it was like the equilibrium was crazy, like how it was sitting.
It looked like it was an iPad with their case on it, with the
Yeah.
Apple case on it. And I'm like, if he tries to type something, that is going in the floor for sure.
Well, do you think that was like a Microsoft Surface or something he was using? I was wondering the whole time, like
I
what?
don't know.
It looked like an iPad to me. It looked like an iPad
Okay.
Pro.
All right, that could be.
We'll be right back.
Now that's what I want to see. I want to see Adam Ray
Yeah.
interview Trump as Dr. Phil.
Oh my
He's been
God, that would
Trump
be
was on
so money.
he was on Jake Paul's podcast
Yeah.
last week.
We covered that while you were
Was.
taking a leak.
Oh, okay.
Trump was. Okay, yeah. Dude, I mean, did you end up watching Adam's new special?
Not yet, no.
Like and
man, I
subscribe.
haven't.
It was good.
No.
It was really good.
Is it very kid friendly? Because I got the kids this week. Is it be something I can play on the big TV or wait till I go to bed?
Man, I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't have that mindset. Like I don't have to worry about it, so I just don't even think about it.
My kids love stand up comedy, obviously, but I
How
kind
old
of
are your
tried.
kids?
It
My
wasn't.
son's 13. My daughter, she's 9. She don't watch a lot
It
of the stuff
wasn't
we
that
watch.
it wasn't dirty enough for me to be like cringy about
The only
it.
thing I try to stay away from a lot of times is like innuendos and vulgar things because cussing's always going to be there. You know what I mean? So I really don't care too much about that.
Okay. I really don't think that you would have a problem watching it in front of them.
Like they've watched all of Nate's, which of course he don't really get
Yeah, I was gonna
crazy.
say
They've watched Dusty Slay. They've watched some Fluffy. That's really about it. I try not to go to.
those are all the.
I think you're hitting the kid friendly ones, yeah.
Those are all
as much as they can be.
Jim Gaffigan.
He's not safe.
Some of his stuff's pretty
Jim
pretty
Gaffigan.
chill.
Who am I thinking of?
Jim Gaffigan is the pale redheaded white guy. It's like
Oh,
really good friends with Seinfeld.
I don't like that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
I was thinking
your
about
choices get limited.
I was thinking about the puppet guy. That's who I thought
That's
you were
Jeff
Oh
Dunham.
yeah, Jeff Dunham.
He's definitely
And he's
not.
like, yeah, some of his stuff gets pretty wild.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw him like a couple months ago, and I hadn't listened to anything Jeff Dunham in years before I saw him live, and I was like, dude, this guy's pretty fucking
edgy.
wild.
I remember back in the day. Speaking of like total like freaking mind blows, is when we used to watch Full House all the time, and then I saw like Bob Saget stand up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's dirty.
Oh
dude.
yeah,
I was
Saget
like,
was
man,
wild on
Yeah.
stage. I wish
Yeah.
I wish he would have had a special come out like during
I had
all of this time where like comedies had this big resurgence or whatever. It would have
Right.
been fantastic to
He
have.
would have had a good one. What do y'all think really happened to him?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have any conspiracies
He
on.
had like the back of his skull was like bashed in. They said he hit it on the headboard of his bed. But I
mean,
mean,
Oh, I didn't know about the headboard of the bed. I thought it was just like on a coffee table or something.
no, they said when he laid down in bed, he hit his head against the headboard, and they think that's what caused it.
Wow.
Like, how hard do you got to hit your head on your headboard?
no joke.
I was gonna say, I just can't imagine somebody wanting to kill Bob Saget.
And then the court in Florida threw it out to where nobody could like talk about it anymore or do any more investigating. So like that's just fishy to me. I don't know.
Huh? I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll look into that more.
Look into that, man. Look into that.
I didn't realize there was a situation.
Yeah, a
around
little bit of
that.
scandal going on, and it just like disappeared. Everybody went quiet.
That's more details than I ever thought about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he passed away. That's sad. And
Well,
kind of went on past my business.
Yeah, I mean, I looked into it a little bit, but I thought he just like I thought he passed. I thought he had like I thought he fainted and like he fell into a table is what I understood from.
Yeah, but he didn't like drink or do drugs or anything anymore, you know? So just weird.
Maybe
would
he had a little
fall.
relapse situation.
It might have been like 10,000 rats attacked him.
Yeah, man. Speaking of 10,000, dude, that chart, I don't know if you can pull it up or not. Can you screen share that thing, Wes?
Hold on. You can go ahead and keep
Big-
talking, but
But anyway, so
seconds or
that I think it was something like you could pick two to defend you
Okay.
against all the others, and you had to survive for an hour. And it's
I've
just
got
the
questions.
craziest.
I got questions. I know what I put on Facebook, what I would
Yeah.
pick, but after I thought about it more, I'm like, I got questions. Are the rats motivated to protect me, or
Dude,
the opposite? Are they motivated to attack me?
So
I'm-
I actually said that to somebody who picked 10,000 rats, and it might
I'm thinking it's just 10,000 rats doing whatever. Like you
Yeah.
might be fair game too, you know?
that's
If these
what
animals are just doing whatever,
Yeah.
see. That's what
Yeah.
I was
Go with the
thinking
hunter.
is that the rats were just rats. So like whatever. So in my mind, and I don't think I said anything. I don't think I made a choice to be honest. But 15 wolves is kind of hard to pass up, and the only reason I say that is because 15 wolves are like pack animals.
Yeah.
yeah.
So if they do get motivated to attack something, they're going to do it as a team. And I don't know if rats are that way, but the hunter with a rifle, like
Rats communicate with
If
each
the-
other.
if the
so
hunter with a rifle is on the other team, he's going to take me out immediately.
not if them 10,000 rats get around him.
That's if the rats are motivated to do if they have an agenda, that is a scary situation. That's
I don't think
lot of rats.
Yeah, like what size of room are you in? Like what's like are
What
you in like
size
an
rat
arena?
are they?
Yeah,
Well, it
they're
says
like New
arena.
York City sewer rats with a
It says-
bubonic plague.
It says arena, so I'm going with like let's just say
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden, Bridgestone Arena for
Yeah.
let's just say Bridgestone Arena for
Yeah.
the locals, Nashville or that's closest
Yeah.
to Franklin and whatnot.
And how much ammunition does this hunter have? Is he in video game mode where it's unlimited, or is he
Yeah,
just
I
got
think
what he
he's
can
just-
carry?
I think he can just do whatever.
Yeah,
I think it almost comes down to like you pick the two that are like the least shittiest ways to die. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to get eaten by like crocodiles.
So you're just going into this knowing you're just done.
Yeah, dude, because for 1 hour, it says to survive for 1 hour. So what happens after that hour, dude?
They disappear. This is
Oh,
just a like a scenario. This is just a
yeah, dude. I couldn't
like the
imagine
gorillas being on my side.
they
Them
would
things are
rip you in
huge and
half. Yeah,
powerful.
they'd be scary to
Yeah,
fight.
but if they weren't on my side, I just wouldn't fuck with them.
That
Well,
comes
I
back to
think
the
all of
motivation
them
thing.
are.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they're all actively hunting. Like you're the target, and you have to pick two to defend you.
Mm.
Yeah. So like you would have like I would have a team of 10,000 rats, and then I'd have 50 hawks flying overhead, just because they'd be trying to kill the rats. So it'd
You're
just be just hawks just dodging in the ground,
The
just
land
everywhere.
air situation. You gotta have land and
Yeah,
air
man.
on it.
Yeah, man. That's what I think. I think
To
that's
be
your
honest,
best bet.
hawks are huge. So
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And 50 of
They're
them, that's a
smart.
bunch.
crocs are pretty big.
Yeah, 50 hawks in the Bridgestone Arena would be crazy, man. Flying around in there. Jeez.
I'm just hoping the hunter gets distracted with like say the buffalo and he's like, that's a huge buffalo and I want to kill that instead of me.
Well, would like whenever I
He's
think
a
of
hunter.
Hunter, yeah. Have you ever seen the old movie Jumanji with Robin Williams?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That hunter in there, that's the hunter that's after you, that one that's on a mission
Yeah, I got you.
with the big mustache.
He's got to kill golly, what's his name?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
Jack, I think's his name in the movie.
Yeah, Jack is his name. But the buffalo, as far as things that I wouldn't pick, it'd probably buffalo.
Yeah,
For
buffalo
sure.
are useless.
3 brown bears is not enough brown bears in my
It's
opinion.
not.
Crocodile.
Not when you got
What?
not when you those wolves would take out the brown bears, I would think.
I think the least threatening would be the buffalo,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
crocodiles, and the hawks. Really, because I don't think hawks are really going to attack a person.
I thought you said you were picking the hawks.
Well, I am. I'm picking the hawks. They'd just be flying around. It'll be just mass chaos. You know what I mean? Because then you'll have 10,000
They're
rats
just
on the
causing
ground.
crazy
Yeah.
shit.
And the hawks are going to be trying to eat the rats. So it'll just be
It's a
just
lot of
crazy.
rats.
True. The hawks are a good counter for the rats.
Yeah, man.
But
I think crocodiles. You could outrun a crocodile. You could outrun.
I don't know. Can you outrun a crocodile?
Yeah, dude. I think you can. Y'all might be able to. I couldn't. Yeah,
But
dude.
the hawks are going to have to
Miles an
take out
hour?
200 rats in an hour. Each one of them, 200 rats in an hour.
Yeah, man.
Crocodiles go. They can
More
go.
than that, 2,000. No, yeah, you're right. 200. My math's terrible. I would say there'd be 100,000 rats and you 2,000.
I don't know. No, none of us run 20 miles an hour, and that's how quick crocodiles go. So no, no.
You want to hear my
Anyway,
dad joke about crocodiles?
Let's hear it.
How do you know the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
What's that?
One of them you'll see later, and one of them you'll see after a while.
It's pretty good. See you later, alligator.
My young kids love that joke for some reason.
All right, hold on. I got a little update here. Actually, that was the 20 miles an hour is speed in water. It's 10 to 13 on land, which I'm still not running 13 miles an hour on land.
I'm not. I mean, I know there's people that can run faster than that, but
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
But anyway, so for the listeners, y'all get on Facebook and check this post out and let us know what y'all would do.
I hate that. I hate how like on the fence I am with this on what I would do.
It's a very hard list to really narrow down to 2.
I didn't even really think about the wolves until Tutley brought them up, and then I was like, they're the only thing on this list that's like a pack animal.
And you could probably actually befriend a wolf because it's like a dog, You could probably
other
get
than
tired.
the rats do talk to each other.
They do.
But the wolves would for sure like attack one thing. Like they would be able to be like, we're going after this one thing. We're going to kill this one bear, then we're going to get the next bear, then we're going to get the next bear. Like
if you have the ability to command your animals, the rats is the go-to because you send him after the hunter, right? Because there's nothing that hunter's going to do with 10,000 rats.
I'm going to send 1,000 to each thing. There's 9 things on there. They're getting 1,000 rats at them.
That's a bunch too. I mean, that is a bunch of rats.
Yeah, dude, it would be.
It's really a bunch of rats or an arena like that.
Could 10,000.
That could really like
they would never get them damn rats out there.
I think Bridgestone only has like 17,000 people.
Yeah,
it's not big. I mean, when you put it if you think about it that way,
it's true, man. It'd be wild. It would be insane. But
I'm trying
yeah, I don't think really any of them are good. I don't think any choices is a really good one. I wouldn't want to get eaten by 10,000 rats. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Man.
my Google searches on this are going to be wild. How much space would 1,000 rats take
Well,
up?
It was 10,000 rats. 10,000.
Well,
10,000.
this one I said
We
10,000.
can
It is
extrapolate it.
10,000.
We can extract it.
Average rats. 10,000 rats would take up what 4.3 meters cubed. Why you got to put this in things that I don't know?
So that's
And we needed it.
4.3,
We needed it in American.
Yeah, that's right. Hold on. I can tell you that quick math.
Well, 200 meters cubed, 200 meters squared, 200 square meters, which is about what the fuck? Why is this all in meters? What?
It's
Because the
400.
rest of
What the fuck is this? Why?
What kind of Tommy
we're gonna have
confused you
listeners.
got?
We're gonna have
Everything I'm
listeners in
looking
other
up.
countries be like, "What do you mean? What's a meter?"
Right.
Why is this all? Everything I'm finding about rats in space is all meters right now. Well, apparently, no one in the U.S. thinks about rats and rats taking up space. But
You'll
yeah,
get one
if
of
you
those
can
awards
control
from Google the first time anybody searched this.
they're the
Right.
oh yeah, everything on here is from Reddit. So the weirdest place on the internet, other than 4chan, and that doesn't come up on Google. So
Is that a thing? You get something from Google if you're the first person to
No.
search it?
No, I think there's like this hoax going around. These people make up these trophies. I've seen them on social
Dude,
media.
I know I probably got a few of them then they were trying to send to me. But man,
what?
I gotta get my trophies.
What? Oh, we already talked about fucking Dr. Phil. Hold on.
We did a little bit. That was why Josh was in the bathroom.
Yeah, man.
Oh, there he is with his laptop. That
Yeah,
thing-
it is kind of crazy.
There is the laptop.
It is.
I think y'all are right. It's just sitting on the edge of that table.
If he tries to type on it, it is gone.
Yeah, it's game over.
I don't know why he
It-
just don't use any more of the table. There's nothing else on that table.
Yeah, why has he
Also-
got it so close? Well, he is old. Like, think about it. Maybe he's got to try to see.
That's true.
Also, this room is completely empty. They're at Mar-a-Lago. Is this where he was keeping all the classified documents? And they cleaned it out for
Yeah,
him?
that room there. That room
Yeah,
there looks like sterile.
Yeah, he said that in that interview too that there's only been they had a funeral there, and I didn't know who the guy
Yeah.
was that they had the funeral there for.
He said he was a great guy, a phenomenal guy.
Of course he did. He says
So
that
I-
about anybody.
I looked that up. That was owned by the Post Company, the Post Cereal Company, and then
Yeah.
they sold it to the government.
Hmm.
And then for the South White House, for the president to stay in, and then the government sold it back to Post, and then Donald Trump bought it from them.
Huh.
Hmm.
Well, interesting. So it's just rich
Well-
people in the government trade money.
Trading money.
Apparently,
Trade
Melania's
money.
mom has passed away earlier this year.
What's up?
I don't
From
know.
shit country Slovenia.
And then maybe they were doing they were planning on doing a funeral at Mar-a-Lago for Melania's mom.
I remember him
That's
saying that, but I don't remember what person he said was they did a funeral for.
Yeah, it wasn't Melania's mom. It was a dude
No.
that they did that it was. That's why I was trying to look it up, but everything is about Melania's mom. Either way, whatever. All right, I'm moving on from that.
Moving on.
I can't.
If we
I
wanna
don't have
do,
enough time to look into who the specific person was because whenever he said it, I was like, I ain't never heard of that guy, and I don't know why he was special enough to be the only funeral held at Mar-a-Lago. But maybe I'll look that up at another time and figure it out.
Yeah, he
Well,
said
can I-
that he was going to turn it into a business or something. He's going to make it like a funeral home. And I was,
God. He's a character, man.
I mean, that's all he does. I mean, he's like the prime capitalist. So
Yeah.
all
I
he
mean,
knows how
He's
to,
a businessman.
yeah, all his brain knows how to do is to make money. So I mean, I don't really
go
blame him.
get your money.
Yeah,
Baby, I got your money.
and I mean,
Hey.
all these trials and everything. He owes like $91 million to somebody he says he's never met. I don't remember who that was.
Gee, how do you owe somebody $91 million you never met?
It was me. It's me. He owes me.
God.
Send a check. I'll be like one of those debt collectors and cut
That's
him
like
in half.
trying.
You
that's
pay
like-
it off now.
If you can
We'll
pay it off
cut you a
now, I'll
deal
take
for $9
$8,000.
Yeah, we did 80,000.
Yeah.
And I want a
Like-
lifetime membership to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, if I could get a hold of his phone number, I'd be like, hey man, you owe me like 91 million, but hey, if you pay it off right now, like wire me the number, I'll take $12,000.
He
And
probably
you gotta
doesn't
be on
even
the
answer.
podcast.
He doesn't even have like a personal cell phone. He probably has people that have phones and they call that phone like, here, you need to talk to this person. He hands the phone back to somebody. Could you imagine being a person?
He's got to tweet
What's that?
something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got to have something. He probably uses a computer to tweet.
He's probably the only person that actually does it himself. Everybody else has all these teams of these great people, like creative people, and he just like, no, just give me my BlackBerry, and I'm going to use it.
All right, we're getting into like the 50-minute territory here, and I really want to know this. Travis, I need to hear your Talladega story because we've got to have the movie of the week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't done movie of the week in a little while. I've kind of got away from that, but this week we have the classic film. Wes is going to pull it up. It has Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and that is, I'm not sure what year it come out, but Talladega Nights,
2006.
the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. If you ain't
Man,
first, you're last.
Those two
Thank you,
guys
mate.
could make anything, and I would watch it as long as
Yes,
they
good
starred in it.
stuff. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They're really good together.
I love them two together. So they actually filmed most parts of this movie at Talladega. And when I was a young whippersnapper, I guess I was in my 20s then.
Yeah, 2006.
2006, so I would have been 22. They actually filmed this at the ending at Talladega, and I was there. So that picture of them kissing happened virtually in front of me.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
I tell everybody when they watch Talladega Nights, I'm in that movie. I'm in the crowd. So I was at that race. They filmed it right before a NASCAR race. So we're 2004 in Alabama, surrounded by the biggest redneck NASCAR fans you could ever
It's
find.
Talladega, yeah.
Right. Like
It's
if you've ever
in
been there, it's a
Alabama,
huge
isn't it?
party. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a huge party. So right before the race, they get out and they're like, oh, they tell everybody they're filming this movie. There's signs all around telling you might be filmed. They're filming this movie. And it had some weird name. They didn't even call it Talladega Nights at that point. They weren't even like trying to say this is like a Will Ferrell movie is what it said on sign. We're filming a Will Ferrell movie. So they're filming the ending scene. And if you remember, they wreck their cars and they get out of the cars and they run across the finish line and they like jump and put their hand out to see who gets there first.
Yeah, yeah.
So they film all that. They're running down the front stretch towards the finish line. They cut, they put mattresses down so the stuntmen can jump. And then Will Ferrell and Sacha Baron Cohen are laying on the ground. They film them doing that with their hands out. And then they get up. And in front of this huge redneck crowd, they kiss. And everybody boos them. You're talking 2004.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Yeah. It wasn't cool to be gay back then.
Right.
I was going to say
They're-
2006. That was a rough time to have anything gay happening for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And their comedy hero, Will Ferrell's down there making out with a guy in front of
Sacha
everybody,
Baron
right?
Cohen.
Who nobody knew at that point in time, really.
Making
still
out Borat.
Yeah. People
Oh,
were still
that's
thinking
so
Borat was a real person at that point in time,
That's
right?
hilarious.
So they're booing them, and in the movie they're cheering. So they edited all that out.
Oh, of course. They
That's
probably didn't even have a mic on. They just had the video going.
Right. Yeah. They just put that noise behind it.
So I could, if you're watching the movie at that end scene, I can actually point out where I'm sitting. I tell people I'm in that movie, but I'm really just filling up one pixel of the whole screen, right? It's like there's a black dot over there in the corner. That's me.
That's awesome.
How old were you in 2006?
So I would have been 24.
Okay. You were well old enough to know what.
Yeah. It was actually me and my dad were there at the race together, which we do quite a bit. It's something that you can see behind me. I've got NASCARs and stuff all up here. I'm
That's
a
like
big
y'all's
NASCAR
thing.
fan.
Y'all do bond over that.
For sure.
That's
Sure.
cool, man. That's awesome.
I would like to go to Dega at some point.
So my wife,
I like F1 racing myself.
Dega's worth the party for sure if that's your thing. It's like Bourbon Street on Mardi Gras, but rednecks for 3 days.
Yeah.
So my wife, before I met her, took her, I think at that time 86-year-old grandmother and her dad to see Talladega Nights. And like 35 minutes into the movie, her dad was like, "We got to go. She's not going to like this." And she reached over and said, "Sit down. I've seen worse on TV." And apparently at the end of the movie, I wasn't there because I hadn't met my wife. She was standing up going, "Go, Ricky Bobby!" In the theater. An
That's
86-year-old woman.
That's
So,
fantastic.
It brings everybody together.
So funny enough,
What a
the
movie.
one time that I've been to New York was I stayed at the same hotel that Borat stayed at.
That's hilarious.
Hotel Wellington, I think. Is what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah. King of the castle. I got a chair.
I got a chair. I
King
got
of
a
the
chair.
castle.
And it, like
Oh,
I was in New York
ooh
around.
la la.
I think that movie came out like maybe a year or two before I had went to New York. So
Yeah.
I was like 16 or so
Yeah.
whenever I was up there.
It came out in 04, I think.
And I don't even
I'm
think what
go ahead.
I don't even
I was
think
going to say, I'm pretty sure I got that movie Talladega with my Sony PlayStation 3.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure it came with my PlayStation 3.
it should really come with every DVD player, to be honest.
It
Especially
should.
trailer.
That or Step Brothers.
Yeah, that especially if you live in a trailer, it should just come with your trailer.
Hell yeah. Easy now, easy. Easy. Well, good. Do we have anything else we want to hit on while we got T-Cat with us? That's his nickname now. He's T-Cat.
I've had many of nicknames. So I told Nick, y'all called me T. Utley or
Yeah,
Tutley.
Yeah.
Tutley. Back in my college years, I had people that called me that exact name, and it got shortened to Tut, and then King Tut.
King Tut, yeah.
Oh,
Like
that's
that
good.
one.
Okay, that's not.
I like
That's
King
not a
Tut.
bad
King Tut
nickname
might be
for
the
that.
one.
I was gonna say
The
that's
kids
not
at
a bad
church,
nickname to
the kids at church call me Big Fudge.
Big
That's
Fudge.
my-
I like
that's
that one
mine.
too.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
Fudge.
That comes from How I Met Your Mother. It's one of my favorite TV shows.
It's a good
And
one.
Marshall, he's called Big Fudge in there, so I just picked it up. So
That's hilarious.
I used to I had a football coach back in the day that we called Ugg, and I started calling him Big Ugly because that's what Ugg was short for.
Yeah.
And like one day, like my dad said, I think it actually like makes him upset when you call him that.
That's hilarious.
now you grow up with my last name, you get called everything. I got to teach my kids that. Everybody, there's some fifth grader somewhere who called both of my sons ugly because of their last name, right? It's just something you deal with.
I don't even remember
Yes.
I don't even remember what that guy's name was. I know his first name was Kevin, but I don't remember what his last name was. I don't know. I just one day started calling him Ugly. And then I would call him Coach Ugg.
Y'all think my kids and my wife are going to get
up?
Y'all think my kids and my wife are going to get back from camp with Nick for a week and be okay? Because I dropped them off and they were going nuts.
I mean, I'm sure they'll be all right. They'll be a little traumatized.
We'll see. We'll see.
hang out with Nick, it's a new experience, and I told him that the other day. I said, I don't want you to start drinking again, and I'm glad that me and him didn't know each other while he was drinking because we would be dead, like for sure.
So
that
this dude's
sober.
Sends me a text message when we're taking the kids up there. I forgot my towel. I don't have a towel to dry off with. We get there and I put my son in the bunk right next to him. He's got a hat rack that looks like a fox. So he thought to bring a hat rack to put his hats on, but not a towel to dry himself. That's the insight.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
This
story is from like 2.5 years ago now or whatever. And this was before he decided to get sober. But I went to one of his like plays and like afterwards, we didn't even plan it or anything, but like I was like, hey man, good show. Like I came up there because I knew Josh and him.
Yeah.
Sorry, and he was like, do you want to go like hang out after this? And I was like, well, it's like 9:00. What are we gonna do? And then he was like, I don't know, we'll figure something out. We ended up being at the Mint until like 1 a.m. And then we got back to his fucking place after hanging out with the most random set of people, to be honest.
At the Mint.
And then
He attracts them.
And then
Yeah, oh yeah.
he was like, "Are you ready to go to sleep?" And I was like, "I mean, I'm still chilling." I mean, this was like 1 in the morning. I don't know what I did. I was probably drinking vodka sodas or something that night, so I was all amped up. And he handed me a bong, and I was like, "Bro, I haven't hit a bong in I don't know, 12 years at this point because I'm not a big weed smoker." And I will say to this day, that was the best high I've ever had. Like I hit that thing 2 real good times, and I was the most chilled out I've ever been.
Sounds like a good time. I wish I could chill out.
It's just on his couch, and he was like, "Golly, you took a big hit." And I was like, "That's all I know how to do, baby."
He's down there rubbing your feet. You're relaxing, fanning you, living the dream. The smell of fresh cookies in the oven.
Oh God!
This is
If
how I
So-
picture it going down.
if he would have put cookies in the oven that night, I would have just like pre-cummed everywhere.
You'd have just moved in with him. You'd just been a permanent resident of Franklin,
living
Kentucky.
there. Be living there right now.
I was
That's
like, this
right.
guy's gonna take me out to the Mint every night, and we're gonna get hammered, watch
Come
people
home,
lose a bunch of
and
money.
take care of me.
Yeah, but he might
Have
be
all
crazier
the
now.
amenities.
I didn't know him back when he was drinking, so he's. I would love to crawl around in his brain for about 10 minutes and just see what's going on.
Man, I don't know. I mean, if you've listened to every episode, you know about.
You're in there.
I've had some pretty intimate conversations with Nick and Josh, obviously, but man, all three of us, I think, leave it pretty well on the table on this pod
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah.
We don't censor much.
This is how I am in every day, all day long. With what
Yeah.
y'all see, pretty much.
Yeah, the only
Actually,
thing,
I may, yeah, it may be a little dial back for this, just because we had if all three of us did what we wanted to do, they would just be talking over each other the whole time.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say it dialed back in the sense of you ain't. Well, we had to get Nick to not mention people's names.
Well, then we all had to figure out that we all three don't have to be the center of attention either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't. Well, I learned today. Utley says I'm 70% of the talk on here, so I'm like, oh God, maybe I need to shut the fuck up every now and then.
I think we all have
No,
our
I
own
don't think it's
parts.
bad. Yeah, you do for
We all
sure.
have our own roles.
That was just a guesstimation. I didn't like
Yeah.
calculate that.
I think it's more like 69.
Yeah. So it's 69 me, like what, 16 Nick, and then 14 you.
Yeah, I'll pull the rest of it in. All the smart stuff, all the 14% of smart stuff comes from me.
Yeah, everything to do with old war stuff.
Yeah, man. I love
So-
it.
Hey,
So,
oh,
Josh,
go
I
ahead.
don't know if I told you, I met Wes in person, so I haven't met you in person. I waited on him, stalked him into the bathroom at the play up here one day, just waited on him for him to get done. Standing there like,
You
hey,
should have waited for him in the bathroom with like some colognes or something from home. Like, excuse me, sir, you want me to dab you up with some colognes? I work.
I'll
in the
be honest, I
bathroom."
forgot about the bathroom thing. I thought we just saw each other in the line, like waiting to get the buffet thing.
The buffet.
well, I was staying outside smoking. I seen you go in the bathroom. I walked back in and you came out. And it just looked like I was standing there waiting on you all the time. Like, where's Wes? Where's Wes?
I don't remember. I don't
We
remember
would-
that. I remember talking to you on in the buffet line or whatever, but I
Yeah,
didn't
it was
remember.
me and my wife.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to meet up sometime soon, Travis.
Well,
Yeah, I stalked you through the IGA on one Friday night, but you got
Well,
out.
how'd you
there
know
pretty
it was
quick
me?
before I get there. Well, it looked like you. I mean, was the main thing, and then you were limping a little bit. I couldn't see your legs, so I just figured it was you.
Yeah, man, that's me.
It was a Friday about 7 or 8 o'clock. We were in there buying every box of cereal you could find for a food drive.
I heard that. I love
So-
cereal.
Josh probably the only above the knee amputee in Franklin,
I'm the only one I've seen out and about.
but probably
Really?
maybe the only one in South Central Kentucky. I do need to. I think I've said this before. I don't know where my grandma's amputated at, but I don't think she has a knee. But I'll have to find out.
Well, you ask her, man. Me and her get together and have us a good conversation.
My grandfather had both of his cut off at the knee,
Yeah.
like below or above.
below the knee.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, mine's like halfway up my thigh.
Yeah, Josh ain't got nothing.
Nothing, dog. Nothing. Just hanging.
Yeah, he died when I was 5, so I don't have a whole lot of memories of him. But it was
Damn.
he had both legs like Josh's and was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, dude. I've got a wheelchair. I used it at first until I got my leg, and ever since then, man, you just can't really put a price on walking.
I bet.
It's pretty nice
All right,
stuff.
boys.
But
I think we're closing this.
Travis Utley was our co-host today, and we're thankful that he come along and joined us and all
Anytime,
that good
fellas.
stuff.
I
I'd
don't
love to
know
have
if
him
we
back.
ever really
Anytime.
said that Nick's at church camp. I think
Yeah.
it kind of
Yeah.
like lightly got brought up, but yeah, Nick's at church.
That's what he says anyway.
Yeah, that's what
He is.
I
I dropped
know.
my wife and kids off with him, so I know he is at
Well, that was
church.
yesterday. Has anybody talked to him today?
I talked to my wife and I heard him in the background.
Okay,
So
yeah.
That's not a good sign. But
Well, I think next week we might try to on Fine by Me podcast. We might try to do something with the Biden and Trump debate if we could figure that out.
oh yeah. Oh no, I figured it out. Like, well, if anybody is on, it follows our
So
Facebook close-
that is on next Thursday,
Yeah.
and that's the same day our podcast come out. So I was wanting to see if maybe you and Nick would just want to do a live podcast that night, and our podcast just come out then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do like while the debate's on.
You don't want to do like a regular podcast and then just
Well,
do
I
it
was just we can do both. I was just trying
I was gonna say let's
to
do
think of
both.
like, okay.
I think we need to do both and then just have the
Debate is like a special.
yeah, the debate
as
is
the Tommy knocker, I would suggest both.
Okay, there we go.
because
All right.
truthfully, and I even thought about this earlier. I didn't mention it to anybody, but I know we're going to do it over Zoom. That way, I can stream it
Right.
while it's
Be
happening.
easier.
But I
Yeah.
could even have like Tutley come in. I might
And
even
commentate.
well, and not even for the whole thing because it's going to be like 3 hours long. But I can have him come in for 20, 30 minutes. I'm going to reach out to some other listeners that I know of and see if
I'm
maybe
glad to do it.
couple
Sounds
like get
good, man.
Tutley in for 30, get some other people in for a couple like 10
Yeah.
something. I'll see. I don't know. It crossed my mind earlier today since I know we're gonna have to do it over Zoom, just so that people are actually watching it. I don't even know like the copyright situation with that. We're not big enough for anybody to fucking care about
No.
that, probably.
Put
Well,
it
they
up and
gonna
let them
take-
take it down.
What are they
Yeah,
gonna
they'll just
take
take-
from us? They can't take nothing that's already been taken from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be like live streaming it over here, and we're gonna be the small windows on the other side, and y'all are just gonna be able to. I'm gonna try to make it to where the volume on the debate is a little bit lower, but we can all hear it.
Sounds good. And thanks again,
Do a
Tutley, for
inside
coming on.
baseball, but we might end up
Literally anytime, guys. I would love to come back and hang out with you guys. I had a blast.
Hell yeah,
Sounds
brother!
good, man.
All right, this has been Fine by Me.
Later, Gators. Bye.
Love y'all.
See you.